Well, today on the little vlog, we've got the lovely Julia. Hello, Julia.
Hello, Richard.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Apologise if you get wind. It's just I've had Brussels sprouts for breakfast. No, I didn't mean that. Is that RAF Stubbington?
I believe it to be so.
Because it's on Stubbington Lane. We're in Lee-on-the-Solent.
Yes, don't forget the.
Yes, it's not Leon. He's a nice bloke. So we're going to go and have a look at that. But we need to walk down there first.
Yes.
So this is another of these very raw vlogs. Morning. One of these very raw vlogs. Turn the camera on and we don't turn it off. That sort of thing for as long as it takes. So join us. So if the wind is too much, I apologise, but it is blowing off the Solent here, down on the south coast of England here in Great Britain. To work out how that
Where
all
am
works.
I again?
Yeah. So
UK.
RAF
Stubbington.
being a Royal Air Force base down on the seafront, which presumably played a part in the Second World War.
I believe it did. I don't know anything about that though, unfortunately.
No, sorry about the noisy traffic. And then over this way, with sailing ships in the background.
It's Forley over there.
There's who's Paulie?
Forley power station.
Oh, Forley Power Station.
And Hamble down there. And then you've got the Isle of Wight here.
Right. Over there. It's funny how when you're standing here, the Isle of Wight looks quite near, doesn't it? Because there's only a little bit of the Solent between us.
Should we pop across for a swim?
Yes. When I'm behind the camera, it can't hear me, just to remind you.
Yeah.
Should we move that way?
Yes.
It can hear you, because it's pointing at you.
Yes, sorry about that. The lovely Solent, which I have swum in many times before.
Have you?
Yes.
Is it clean enough to swim?
Oh yes.
Shall we go down there onto the...
I think that would be a good idea,
out
get
to
away
the
from
wind
the road.
and the road. So yeah, this is Stubbington Lane, look.
And the recent Bold Explorer group walk was just up there.
Oh yeah.
Titchfield Haven.
We will be doing more of those walks, by the way, but next year. I've got a bit of a cold, so if I sound a little bit subdued, it's because I've got a bit of a cold. So are those the beach huts that we saw when we were having lunch on the Bold Explorer?
So the other end of them, I believe.
Oh right, yeah, that's true. Which way do you want to go?
That way.
That way? Oh, it's all very monotonous that way.
What's it called? Street art? Little child in the anorak.
Right.
Waves.
Yeah.
Anchor, so it was interesting.
Yeah, it's
So
very
well, we're on the
interesting.
beach now.
We're on the beach now. Let's
Quite
go down
high
to the...
tide.
Does it normally go out a bit?
It does go
Quite far. Here we are, let's get down to the water's edge and show you the actual water that's there in the Solent doing its thing. Oh, this is gripping stuff, you know. Well, we're walking now along this length of esplanade, I suppose you'd call it, or the promenade. Don't know where the word esplanade comes from, but you've been coming here since you were small.
Yeah, since we moved back from Saudi Arabia.
And you were just telling me, tell the lovely viewer, if he's still watching, you still watching, about the wall business.
Well, from this wall to our right,
Yeah.
it used to just drop down 5 or 6 foot. Down here.
So,
We're now standing on rocks, well, pebbles and things that were dredged out of the Solent for about 40-ish years ago and dumped here.
this wall originally just had the sea splashing up against it, so the sea would come in, that would be it.
That's
like
right,
a defence wall.
Yeah, it was just silt and and sand.
Right. And
Stuff
so
down there.
then what we see here, the beach was man-made. Is that what you're saying?
Essentially, yes.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I mean, I've seen them do similar in Lancing, but it's just a top-up.
And I wonder if that's because they wanted a beach, or they just wanted better protection from the sea by raising it up, although it's the same level as the wall.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of both. It was
Right.
to protect from the sea coming up, and also to be an attraction for people to come and enjoy the cross between the land and the sea.
Yes.
I imagine it was meant to have been kept up like this, but somehow, for some reason, it had been left and left and left, and you know, over time the pebbles will get washed back out. Yeah, it's really nice.
It's quite a bizarre bit of coast, really, because it's the bit that goes around the Isle of Wight, and so in a way it's more of a channel. I mean, I know the English Channel is a channel, but it's more of a channel. You know, it's like a very wide river in a way, isn't it?
It is, essentially, yeah.
So I suppose it acts like that. You were also saying that it's a bit of a retirement
area. Yes, there's
certainly today, lots of people out, a lot of runners and dog walkers and all of that, using this little stretch.
It's exactly what people come here for, to walk on the beach, and exercise their dogs, go for a swim in the water.
We have seen swimmers.
A number of them.
No, absolutely, very bizarre. And clearly up ahead here, people launch boats.
That's right. It's a public ramp, that one. So the members of the public can come and use that one. I don't think they need any admissions or anything.
You say that, but you wouldn't be able to get them in. Oh.
There's an open one there.
Oh yeah, you can come in there. Hang on, I can't show the viewer. You can come in through one, but you can't get out because it's blocked. You'll have to go out the same one. And what you can't see very clearly is there's the Hovercraft Museum behind us.
Yes.
Which just looks like the back end of a whole load of lorries at the moment, but I guess it's beyond that, is it?
Yeah, do you know, I've never actually been there. I'd love to find out about it and actually go and visit sometime.
One of my viewers' sons is a volunteer at the museum, the Hovercraft Museum, and we were going to get an arrangement to go in and have a look at it. This was a few years ago, and it never really happened because I understand the lady in charge sort of was just not able to organise something, even though I emailed her several times. I can't remember what the story is now, but it never happened, unfortunately. But it may happen. We may get in there.
If you're out there and you want to invite us in,
we'd love to see it. Very
Yeah.
bright today, with a very low sun, obviously. So now, if we keep going up here, you get what, like the shops or the main town? Is there a town here? Or is it just literally?
There is a main stretch which is set back just one road from the seafront.
Oh, okay.
Which you know, has your general. There used to be a butcher there. Not even
Butcher,
sure.
baker, candlestick
Well, my friend
maker.
used to live above the butcher.
Oh, right.
Phil's Butcher.
Well, let's walk up there. This next bit is a bit boring, so I will turn the camera off, as you will have noticed, and we'll make our way up there and have a look when we get there.
And see if there's something else we can look at. for
Yes.
you.
Well, we're coming up to, well, this is one of those skateboard parks
Yeah, I don't
on
remember
our
this.
left.
Don't remember that being there, but it's there now. I've only been gone 9 years. It must have been there before I left.
So you would have brought your younger child, your
Elder,
eldest child, Elijah, up and brought him here, as well as being a teenager in the area, yourself, presumably.
Yes, I did. In fact, yeah, the park has shrunk considerably, I suppose, for that skate park.
It is very odd, isn't it, when you go back and you look at the place that you grew up in, and your whole perspective changes, doesn't it, on
Yes.
what looked great then and perhaps doesn't look great now, or what looks great now and is different.
Yep. There's more cafe. It's a bigger cafe now.
Yeah, that
happened.
I guess there's a lot more touristy types and retired people coming in, walking, as you said before, walking their dogs and turning it into a bit more of a resort than a working place.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there's sailing boats out there, so is there a marina nearby?
I don't think there is a marine. Oh yes, there is up around the corner. That's right. Yes.
Yes.
Towards Stokes Bay.
So Stokes Bay is what, the next little resort beyond to the west?
Yes, it's alongside
East.
Gosport.
Right, heading toward. Are we heading towards Portsmouth that way, or is Portsmouth that way?
Portsmouth is that way.
So right,
beyond
and that's
Gosport.
Southampton that way.
Yes, Southampton's over there, more to the point.
Oh yeah, so it bends round, does it? All the
Yeah.
way? Is that all one thing?
Yeah, because
That's bizarre to get your head round this.
the River Hamble comes out over there somewhere.
Oh right, oh okay.
Between that spit there and between the power station.
Oh, that's a spit. That's not just the. So that comes back on itself.
Yeah, yeah, because that's actually Warsash there at that point,
Oh, okay.
and then it goes round into Hamble.
Right, these are probably not making any.
No.
If you don't know the area, all this is kind of difficult to explain. I'm just trying to get my head around it. So you've got the Isle of Wight over there. In fact, that must be the edge of the east side of the Isle of Wight. No, wait, west side, and east that side.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the Needles will be just around that corner.
Right.
The Needles.
Yeah, the Needles, and they're on
Chalky pillars.
and they're on the west side
Yeah.
of the Isle of Wight. Yeah. Okay. Because north is that way.
Yeah.
Clearly. Sorry, I'm pushing you down.
That's all right.
Good job they put the beach there.
It is lucky they moved
Otherwise-
these pebbles here.
Right, well, we'll carry on walking and see where this extra bit of esplanade takes us. So we're coming away from the sea, or the Solent, and we're going to have a look at the town, which the face of these old hotels, which are sort of from the 60s onwards by the looks of things, 50s, 60s onwards. I wonder if any of this was bombed in the war with planes coming over. I mean, it was right at the, the other side of the Isle of Wight, so maybe some of this would have been bombed, I don't know, and hence these newer buildings, because I'm saying that, you can't see them. Hang on, I need to move round so you can see them. These buildings behind us, because they're all quite new, and you wonder if there were other houses originally here, because there's, every time I see like modern houses, and you think, well, why isn't there other houses? There would have been. They were either demolished to make way for the flat, or they were bombed during the war or something. So anyway, let's wander on. I'll follow you. Across the road, so lots of little cafes and tea shops and things along the seafront here, and then up here into the Victoriana bit. So what would you have got up to in Lee-on-Sea, Julia, in your erstwhile, is it erstwhile, is that right, in your teens?
Formative years.
In your formative years,
Well,
yeah, what
as a
sort
child.
of caper?
As a child, when we first moved to England from Saudi, Mum and Dad used to bring us here and we'd play on the beach, and of course I remember that big drop from the wall down to what little stones there was there.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep. And but then I've got memories of coming back as a teen and playing in the arcades with my friends. And
were you an outrageous teen, flirting with all the boys, going and mucking about and doing dodgy things?
no, not really.
Oh, that's boring. I was hoping to
know.
hear something really juicy that people
No,
would get there.
I was quite shy and retiring and
Really?
a bit of a bookworm,
Oh.
a lot of a bookworm.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
So would you bring a book down and sit on the seafront there?
I would have, yes.
No, nice.
Yeah. And I remember my granddad used to come down and I'd meet him and go into the arcades and play pool with him.
Oh right,
Lots of fond memories
a
here.
mean pool player.
I wouldn't say mean. That was all right.
Yeah.
You get fluky, get lucky.
Should we wander up that way and look at some of the houses?
Yeah, yeah.
And we'll look at this. I'm quite interested in this sort of Victorian villa-y shops with the
Funny
veranda. I do like that. You wouldn't get much sun there though these days, because bang opposite is another dirty great load of very boring 60s sort of buildings with look at those mean windows. They're getting all the sunshine this morning up there, look at that. And they obviously were built, which must have been upsetting for the people on this side who would only get it in the evening. And now they're all in the shade. Well, there's shade now because the sun's over there, but in the evening it's going to be blocked by these things, especially this time of year when it's a low sun.
Yeah.
But we're coming up to the High Street. Oh, here we go, Lee-on-the-Solent High Street. Chaps and Co. and Sobury. It's a very all over the place vlog today. I'm going to run over the road here. Is it where should we go, Julia?
Should we go further up here?
Further up.
There might be another interesting building or two, I'm hoping.
Yes, we've got the sun blasting in our eyes.
Yeah. Sunglasses on, sunglasses off.
One of the troubles of today's situation is the shops now. You know, you have to look up. You've got to look up above the hoardings, because the hoardings are just so, you know, commercial, boring. Gaudy, massive plate glass windows. I mean, at least the Victorians and the Georgians had much more beautiful shop fronts, and we're coming up to one which is almost that sort of old-fashioned-y shop, which is much more interesting to look at, and it's called the New Cottage Loaf. But don't look above it because it's not very interesting. And then here we have, we were trying to work out what they were called, this weird shape, and of course it's a Dutch gable, which I did know, I just couldn't remember. Something was there, clearly, and now it's gone. And then,
Another thing.
yeah, lovely. So the Victorians are a weird old bunch, I think, architecturally, because I said this before, the Georgians had the aesthetics just right, but the Victorians wanted to have their put on things, and of course they had the Industrial Revolution on their side. They had the trains making it easier to transport bricks and things to places where perhaps you wouldn't have the right clay and other materials, so you could bring in your stuff for the Victorians, so they could be a bit more frilly and fussy, I think, the Victorian architecture, as opposed to just simplicity and aesthetics that the Georgians had. So tell us about this?
And my cousin used to live here with her boyfriend. It was her boyfriend's uncle that used to run the butchers here. I don't remember it called Phil's Sausages, but it's now called Phil's Sausages. I thought it was just Phil's Butchery, but
well,
same colours.
Oh, really?
Same colours.
And there's a map here, look, of Lee-on-the-Solent, and I wonder what time period that is.
Lee-on-the-Solent airfield, it says. Yeah.
So maybe that's from the 1940s, something like that, or just after the war. As you say, Lee-on-the-Solent airfield sort of gives it an older date, not RAF, but all this building stuff must be from the 30s. Don't know if you can see that card that's in this, what is it, a card shop, I suppose, called The Cabin. and it shows a pier that was once here. Didn't know that. I guess that's no longer there. Would that be up where that telescope raised bit where we came away and crossed the road?
That's right. I assume that's where it would be.
Well, there you go. You see. Now,
Learn something new.
it's a shame that whatever reason, the pier has gone. Maybe it blew down or something. But a beautiful old Victoriana building up there.
Golden Hall, it says there.
Oh, the Golden Hall. And this is the thing, sometimes I think I'd like to have lived in the Victorian period, because it seems like amusements and entertainments for the public were much more, I don't know, giving, much more, they were more about it, whereas over here we seem a bit mean with our entertainments, and it's all very commercial and trying to get the last penny out of you.
Yeah, it's all...
And I don't know, I don't know enough about the Victorian period and how people thought, but it does seem that they were much more into, I mean, I know there was child poverty, and everyone always says, oh, the Victorian period, they lived in slums and they had 5 or 6 to a room and they all shared...
Kids still have to go out to work.
Yeah, and all of that. I get all that, it's not like we're stupid, but at the same time, there was just something about the style and the pride that they had, and we seem to have lost our pride. When you look at as I said before, the shop fronts and things, I'm not having a go at Lee-on-the-Solent here, it's everywhere, it's everywhere. All these high streets are just the cheapest sort of hoarding that you can have, the ugliest and the gaudiest and the most, I don't know, and we just put up with it. It's such a, there's no cohesion, there's no aesthetic, there's no art, there's no, you get a lot of, what is it you get out of beauty? Calm and good stuff, good things. Endorphins, and yes, you're much more positive, you've got a better feeling about yourself if you're proud of yourself. But when you just sort of have a scattergun of beauty, ugliness, the uglification of England. When it's, I can't put into words what I'm trying to say, which is very irritating.
I can tell.
And I get myself in. Oh, there's a bloody car coming in. It's confused. This is why I'm in. This is why I can't express myself, I think, because
it's a confusion, isn't it? It's a clutter.
And I just think people. Sorry, you've got the sun and people and everything. Should you mind? We're trying to make a bloody film here. And now we're up against the wall. We'll be the first to be up against the wall when the revolution comes, so come and shoot us now. Just to show that there are some interest. We just walked down a road, Montpellier Road, I think it was.
Montserrat, I think.
Oh, Montserrat Road or whatever, and we've just been criticising the UPVC windows, which I remember ghastly replacements in some of the most beautiful houses. Then we've come to this weird place. Look at this. This is gated, walled. It looks like a school or an army barracks, but a beautiful old building. Hang on, get a better view by poking the camera up. In there, I don't know if I can't see where the lens is, somewhere there. No idea if you could see that, because we couldn't. And Julia doesn't remember what it's...
No, but you're right, it does look like an old barracks or an old school or something.
Yes, it's something like that, either a training area or something. We'll see if there's any mention of it when we get down to the end. Just asked somebody, we walked all the way around and we just asked somebody, and they told us that it was the
Air Fleet Barracks.
The Air Fleet Barracks. So it's being converted now into luxury apartments. At the back, the old barrack huts, they're all being ripped out, and the parade ground, and no doubt new builds will go there. What a shame. But the house behind us is actually the
old captain's house.
The old captain's house. So there we go. We just asked some guys, they were working in their van, or in the shed next to their van. So there we are. So we'll leave you on this video. We did a leaving sequence just now and then I stumbled over, so we don't want that. But we'll leave you with the Solent. Thank you for watching, and join us on another of our little adventures when we do them.
Catch us again soon.
Bye for now.